Hello, my name is Gary Lanier, and I would like to share with you how I use mnemonics to memorize things verbatim. And for this little demonstration, I want to use law text. And someone asked me if it could be used for law text, and I assured them that it could be. I've used it for Bible verses and sentences and phrases and paragraphs and chapters. And so now we'll just use for law text. And if you're interested in this type of thing, you can look at my the LANIER VERBATIM memory system, part 2. It goes into it's about 40 minutes long. It goes in more detail about how to do this, okay? So let's look at law text. And what was given to me to see how I would go about memorizing it is it was taken from the European Convention on Human Rights. So let's look at it, okay? So what was given to me was taken from section 1, article 2. Now, section 1 has a title, and it is rights. I just use letters to represent the words here. Rights and freedoms. And in Article 2, it has a title, and the title is Right to Life. Now, under the Article 2, there's a Part 1. I just call that 1. And under Part 1, the first word, and this is the key word for the whole thing, is everyone's. Can you read that? Everyone's. I hope I spelled it right. This one word is the key for memorizing, committing to memory the rest of that paragraph. And the way I do this is every one of these letters represents a person. And that person that I know or know of, or there may be famous, like for instance, the first E here, this is Elizabeth Taylor, and most everybody in the world knows who that is. And then on each of these people, for each person, I have 4 facts about them, and I use these facts to hang mnemonically words on them. Okay, isn't that kind of unusual? And we'll see how it works out here. All right, so I'll take Elizabeth Taylor here, and here's the words I have for that. Everyone's right to life shall. I hope we get that on board. 4 words, and she holds those words for me like little pegs, and I say, thank you very much, Elizabeth Taylor. Now, instead of just going through it this way in context, that's pretty easy to memorize like that. But what I'll do is I'll start at the bottom and kind of go up. And to give a little clue as to how you can practice this, I'll just take all these letters here and spell out everyone's this way. E, V, E, R, Y, O, N, E, S. Well, I just happen to know that that's not enough to take care of what I want to memorize. So here's what I do. I start with the ladies. I finish the ladies with an S, and then I start all over, except this time I use the guys. So then I go E, V, and as far as I need to go. And all I need to go down to is the V. I know that, okay? I'll just draw a line like this. Now this is when I'm practicing it and learning it, and that's a good way to do it. Each one of these letters stands for a line of 4 words. So from there, instead of going to this V, let's go to this V. This is Victor. He's a friend of mine from the past when I was a kid. Well, Victor gave me just one word. That's all I need Victor for. Victor, thank you for this word here. law. This ends on law. Okay, part one does. And then if I go up one, there's Earl. Earl's a good friend of mine when I was a kid. Now, what 4 words did he give me? All right, he gave me this. Penalty is provided. I can't even read my right. Provided by. Penalty is provided by. If you continue, you go to the law. Okay, now let's skip from Earl. Let's go up to V up here. This is a lady that I know. Okay, and it is be protected by, and there's that word again, law, period, right? And then if we go down here to this letter, we start with the ladies at the end of the list of the letters, and her name is Sue. And the 4 words that she gave me: crime, for which this. And you're maybe thinking, how do you do that? I mean, just using those words. What I do for all these words that are tangible, I don't need to make images for them. But if it's a word that you can't see, if it's not a tangible word, I make a tangible substitute for that word, and then I use that image to give it to that person to hold for me. And I have 4 positions for these people. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the way it goes. All right, so let's skip down to this lady here. It is his conviction of A. All right. Now see, by doing this, I'm practicing this by going out of context. So it's almost strictly mechanical the way I go about that. And then if you can do it from here to up, it's easy to go from up to down, say, because then you're looking at it more in a contextual way, okay? Let's look at this O. Well, who is this? This is a person I know. Execution of a sentence. All right, so what are some of these words that you're turning into tangible words? Well, like law, I'll look at just Moses tablets, someone breaking them or something. If it's unlawful, I might break the tablet and that type of thing. How about simple words like the word the, T-H-E? Well, for that, I use the word a cup of tea, see? And in place, every time it says the, I put a cup of tea right there and associate it in some way. Okay, let's look at this E. Here's another lady, and she starts with an E. Her name starts with an E. And it is no, okay, one shall be, okay? Let's look at this N here. Here's another lady. Her name is Nancy. Well, Nancy shares this with me. Of a court following. How do you spell following? Okay. Following. Let's look at R. This is a friend of mine. And it says deprived of his life. Okay. And here's one. It starts with a Y. This is Yoko. Oh no. You've heard of her. John Lennon. And it is intentionally main thing is spelling. Intentionally save in there's the T, the cup of tea I use in that, okay? Is that everything here? Let's see how it reads in. Everyone's right to life shall be protected by law. No one shall be deprived of his life intentionally, save in the execution of a sentence of a court following his conviction, a crime for which this penalty is provided by law. Now, that's the way it works. We took every word and made a place for it. So if it works, this system works for verbatim, you can imagine what it works if you use these cue words here instead of every word in the sentence or every word in the phrase or every word in the chapter, but just use them as thoughts. One word could represent a sentence or perhaps even a paragraph. You can imagine the multitude, the magnitude of what you could put to memory by using this kind of system. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. I'm Gary Lanier. Look at part 2 of the Lanier Verbatim Memory System to learn more about how to do this in detail. Thank you.